vlog. That sounds so weird. But anyway, I might look a little bit different to you guys and I might sound a little bit different because I have been sick the past couple of days. Just a really phlegmy throat. Anyway, I am also in a completely different place. Yes, I'm not in Sydney. I'm actually currently in Copenhagen. So for those of you who don't know, I'm here in Copenhagen, Denmark for exchange, and I'm going to be here for a little under half a year, so just for one semester of student exchange at Copenhagen University here. And I'm hoping to be taking the camera with me everywhere to see new places, to try new foods, to explore the history, the culture of Copenhagen and also all other countries in Europe. And I'll be taking you all with me. First got to Copenhagen, of course, I went to check into my dorm rooms and everything. Oh, one great thing about my dorms is that it's right in the city center, so I'm honestly 5-minute walks from everything within the city, which is such a huge change. As for those of you who know me in Sydney, I live in the most rural suburb, so for a change, be able to live right in the city center and to have everything accessible by walking, not even having to take public transport, not even having to take the bike, which is the most common form of transport here in Copenhagen, and I can get to everywhere just by foot. That is amazing, absolutely amazing. And I'm definitely gonna make the most of that here. So obviously, the first place that I went to in Copenhagen is probably the most well-known place here, is Nyhavn, which is the harbour area, and it used to be, historically, a busy commercial port where there's lots of ships coming in and out for trade, and then there's lots of pubs and ale houses and sailors and all that. But now to this day it's been modernized to become a lot more restaurants and cafes, and it's just been a very chill area, similar to like our Sydney harbour, where there's lots of touristy kind of places for you to relax by the seaside. Actually, it's not the seaside, it's just a harbour, and enjoy the weather there. I have to mention that the first couple of days that I got to Copenhagen, it was absolutely freezing. So I arrived on the 1st of February, which is the last month of winter here, and I was expecting to be cold, but it was honestly sub-0 degrees here, maybe like -3 or 4, and a max of 2 degrees, 0 to 2 degrees. And I've never experienced anything like that in Australian winters, obviously. So it was a bit of a shock for my body. My face would constantly be frozen, and there was one to the point where I could not stay outside for over 5 minutes without ducking into a shop just to thaw my entire body because I couldn't talk. It was so cold. To Copenhagen, the weather wasn't the best. It was cold, but it was also very foggy. So as you can see, when I went to Nyhavn, it was quite a gloomy and dull kind of day. So the Nyhavn, the harbour area, is actually maybe around 15-20 minutes walk from my place, so it's not too bad. I can basically walk to all the major attractions very easily. And so after that, I actually went to the Round Tower, which is in the longest pedestrian shopping area. So I basically live 5-10 minute walk from Pitt Street Mall. That's what it is basically like. And so on that shopping area, there is a round tower, which you could say it's like Center Point Tower, but it's not commercialized and it's not a shopping modern area. The tower is actually from the 17th century, and it's the oldest functioning observatory tower in Europe. It was built by Christian IV as an observatory tower because that was pretty popular and predominant within Denmark during that period. And it's like a spiral, and you walk all the way up to the top where you see a 360 overview of the entire city of Copenhagen, and it's the most amazing view. It's very quick as well, just a small entry fee, and you get to see all of Copenhagen. So if it were a straight flat road, it's about 260 meters, so it's not too far to walk up to the top. And I think the whole tower in total is about 36 meters tall. This attraction where you can walk into a glass plate and you can overlook the entire core, the center of the tower. And yes, you're about to see me have a heart attack as I fall, not knowing that there's a glass. In 3, 2, 1. I'm literally standing on top of a glass that is looking down a couple hundred meters over the center of the tower, which is hollow. The sun also set quite early, so I stuck around hoping to get some pictures and some footage of it at night time with the lights on in the city. And so here we have another foggy view, but it was still nice to see the city at night time. I'll definitely be back to look at this again when it's a clearer day and you can see a bit further out into the buildings. So within the first week of being in Copenhagen, I had to go to the International House to get my CPR, to get my residency permit to finalise, to get my residence card and all of that paperwork stuff. So the next morning I went out, and after a whole night of snowing, it was completely white outside and it was so beautiful. It was my first time ever seeing such heavy laden snow, and it was still snowing as well. So it was so awesome to be outside. And I just walked around. I was like a 5-year-old child seeing people play in the snow. I went and jumped into the snow and it was so soft and so amazing. Hey guys, so I just got back from the Student International House to get my residency card and all the applications and things done, and just on the way back picked up some pastries. So I'm going to give these a try and see how they compare with the ones that we have in Sydney, because obviously the ones here are the legit Danish pastries. So okay, I've got it on a plate. As expected, it's pretty sweet because it does have this sugar syrup and it's glazed with more sugar, but it's really soft and fluffy. Kind of like croissant kind of texture, very buttery. Thing that is really close to my place, which is directly diagonal, is the Botanical Gardens. So I went to check out the Botanical Gardens because it was right there and it was amazing. So the Botanical Gardens has 27 glass houses and they are so beautiful. So basically each of the glass houses have different species of plants in there. So there's specifically Danish plants, there's perennial plants, there's annual plants, there's succulents, there's cacti, and all species of plants are held within each different glass house. So I went through all the little ones first and I did a bit of exploring and navigating outside before going into the big building in the palm house. So in the palm house there is a huge stair spiral case that goes up to the next level of the palm house, where you can see a whole 360 view. You can walk all the way around and look down, as well as the outside surroundings of the glass house. So it was just like a little secret garden within there. I could have honestly stayed there and it was perfect just to sit down, have a cup of coffee and do some reading in there, because it was warm, it was surrounded by nature, it's all green, and it was so... I spent a whole solid maybe an hour or two in there because it was just so relaxing. I just loved taking in nature. So while I've been here, I've definitely been missing my family and friends a lot. But something from home that I have missed a heap are my cats. If you know me, I am a bit of a crazy cat lady, so I needed a bit of affection and a bit of cuddling and a bit of fur to snuggle up with. So I went and did some research on some cat cafes in Copenhagen, and there happens to only be one cat cafe, and it's located 15-minute walk from my place. So I was super excited, and I jumped straight onto it, and there are 7 beautiful little creatures living there, and I got to meet every single one of them because I went and pestered them even though they were sleeping. I went and petted them. You enjoyed the vlog, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!